Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nasir, and what's on tap for today? Well, we have got our friends at Campus Reform as they send out their reporters asking social justice warrior, those virtue signaling woke students, questions, and then they sort of turn it around on them. Today's question is, do you think that America is an oppressive society to women and that women are held back and basically still don't have equal rights with men? And then what happens is that after they basically given their spiel, the reporter goes ahead and says, well, what do you think's going on with the women in Afghanistan? And what do you think's happening with their rights? Let's watch the video, folks. I'm going to let it pretty much roll through and then stick around till the end because I'm going to give my reaction to it on the second playthrough, all right? So let's go to the video right now.
We're at the University of Central Florida talking with young college students about women's rights here in America and abroad. Do college students think that women are oppressed here in the United States of America? And what happens when they find out how women are treated under the Taliban in Afghanistan? Let's find out. Would you say that women are treated unfairly in the United States?
Yes, I would say so.
Yes. I've quit so many jobs because of the way I was treated at work.
Definitely. But I think that there's a lot of institutional factors that play into that, especially when you think about just like unequal pay.
We already have a lower pay wage, even if we're overly qualified for the position.
There's still a lot of traditional, I guess you could say, perspectives on what a woman should do and what a woman shouldn't do.
Yeah, there are definitely some unfair treatment in some aspects.
Would you say that women are oppressed here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's primarily, of course, there's the intersection of not just being a woman, but also being a woman of color or a poor woman or...
And there you have it. The intersectionality question comes up. I was just waiting for it to pop up, folks. Intersectionality. Not particularly being white, but if you're a minority, if you're a marginalized section, if you're gay, if you're a lesbian, right? If you're an illegal alien, if you're a lady of color, and then finally whites at the very end.
or an immigrant.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that make it hard.
Would you say it's hard to be a woman in the United States of America?
Yeah, so hard.
Yes,
So hard.
Yes.
It is, yeah.
20 years ago, we first invaded Afghanistan after 9/11. But before the U.S. troops invaded Afghanistan, the Taliban was in control. And under the Taliban, women weren't allowed to have a job. They weren't allowed to get an education. They weren't allowed to hold a position in government. They were being beaten and killed under that government. We drove them out, and since then, life for women in Afghanistan improved greatly because of U.S. presence. Now that the Taliban has once again invaded, many are fearing that women are going to be treated the same way as they were 20 years ago. Women are already being beaten and killed on the streets. What is your first reaction to this?
It makes me very nervous for especially the young girls growing up who might not be able to get an education.
Something that we should think about is refugees coming to the United States and maybe being more open about.
And that's the first thing that happens, right? Refugees, bring them over. You know what? Look, it's a terrible situation that's happening in Afghanistan. But the question becomes are we going to be the nannies for the entire world? I mean, we can't do that, folks. These problems have to be solved within the countries and within their borders. But every one of these woke students, because you know what? It doesn't affect them. It's so nice to say, yeah, sure, we need to bring them over, refugees, absolutely. Give them anything that they want. It's easy to say it, but it's hard to do, especially when we have so many problems right here. And if you think that there's so many problems going on with women already in this society, which is what these students think, that's happening even in American society, well, don't you think we ought to fix those problems up before you bring more women over here to be subjugated to the same false narrative that you think is happening to you?
Letting these people find asylum here.
It says it all. Unless you're just going to take away their hard work that they earned to get those positions because it opposes their personal views. If they worked hard for that, who do you think you are, just coming there and just too bad?
Who do you think it is? Too bad. Who do you think this is? This is the freaking Taliban. Do you have any clue? Do you have any idea who that is, honey? It's the Taliban.
stay in the house while the man does all the work. Like, what?
Terrible. Honestly, I don't know what more to say.
It's kind of a really extreme version of sexism and misogyny.
It's awful. I think that the U.S. should take in as many refugees as they can.
Looking at everything that women are dealing with right now, what they're going to deal with once the Taliban becomes even stronger, does that kind of change your perspective about how women have it here in the United States?
Yeah, it could be worse here. It could be as bad as that, but
It could be worse here, It could be worse here. It couldn't be as bad as that, though. Now let's see what happens. Okay, let's see the mental gymnastics. Okay, that start to occur as these social justice warriors, these woke women students, these virtue signaling hypocrites. Let's see the mental gymnastics start to be formed as they try to spin their way out of this, folks.
that is definitely easier for us to be a woman here compared to that. Yeah.
Ooh, see, I feel like both parties are oppressed. I don't want to say one has it worse than the other, but it is a.
So you wouldn't say that being beaten and killed is worse than maybe just having a lower wage?
No. That's why I'm like, ooh. I feel so, because it's they're both forms of oppression, but that is a lot worse than what we're going through.
Yeah. We have it better. We do.
I think it does. I mean, compared to what's happening in Afghanistan, I do have more basic rights.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we still got it a lot better than many other women in other countries around the world.
Wait. Let's hear that again. What did she say? Did she actually say that? We have to hear that again from her. What was she saying before? Remember before what she was saying? She was saying, terrible. It's a terrible place, America. Misogynistic, just so oppressive for women. Now, all of a sudden, within a few minutes, you've changed your mind?
Have more basic rights.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we still got it a lot better than many other women in other countries around the world.
Obviously in other areas it's a lot worse. With that situation now that I know, obviously there's not as much as to complain about here than over there.
Obviously. Oh, let's hear this brilliant person over here with what she was saying. I think it's about the same till the reporter said, well, do you think murder and rape and killing is the same of oppression as it's over here? Oh, no, yeah, you're probably right.
Do you think we have it pretty good here?
Ooh, that feels like that contradicts what I say about. But it's the truth, though. That's a good question.
It's the truth. Contradicts everything that I say there. That I said before. Ooh, that's a good question. I contradict what I said. That's a good question there. Ooh, yeah. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Because you have a very fair point. We do have it better here than we do in Afghanistan.
Wow, she just figured that thing out, ladies and gentlemen. She just figured out that women have it better here in America than they do in Afghanistan and other parts of the world.
In general. So that's a
general.
good question, but I feel like it contradicts what I just said.
Do you think we have it pretty good here?
Yeah. We have it pretty good here.
Yeah, it's definitely better than how it used to be and better than a lot of other places.
I guess, yeah, I would. I mean, people aren't being
I guess, yeah. Now that you mention it, that Afghanistan, it's pretty bad for women over there. I think it's a little bit better here. Sure.
murdered just for being women on the street.
Does it make you appreciate being a woman in America more?
Yeah, a lot more. We still have a certain amount of privilege that we hold being in this country where we don't have to fear necessarily beaten every day or killed just for being a woman or going to school. So that's going to be definitely something women here and in other first world nations should really, if they want to get involved, have solidarity with the women there.
Folks, this is just, again, one of those things that you can say all this stuff and you can claim all sorts of stuff happening to you. You can claim victimhood, not victorhood, but victimhood over here. You can determine whether or not you want to place yourself in one of those intersectionalities, right, in that column, on that totem pole. You want to place yourself, okay, as someone that's, not getting enough money, that's someone that's being, looked over for promotion, that's someone that just isn't being hired because of, your gender. First of all, I thought, gender wise, I thought the whole thing was that, men can be men, men can be women, women can be men. It really doesn't matter. There's gender fluidity. So what difference does it matter who you are? If the genders are fluid, if a man is a man and a man is a woman and a woman is a woman or a woman is a man, then what the hell does it matter then? What are you talking about in all this? In terms of, you feel oppressed. Well, why do you feel oppressed? Because you're a woman? Well, I thought women could be men. So if women can be men and men are the oppressors, just become a man. It's that simple, right? That's all you have to do. Wake up in the morning and say, I'm a man today. Whoop-de-doo, guess what? Oppression gone. Misogyny gone. You're a man now. I mean, that's all you have to do. It's a mindset, right? That's what you say, right? It's what you feel. It's what's in your mind. That's all you have to do. But to go back to my point, it is easy to claim all those things. Oh, they're fascist. Oh, they don't let me speak. Oh, they're curbing my rights. My First Amendment rights are gone. Freedom of speech is gone. I don't have the ability to talk. I can't say this. I can't do that. Well, it's easy to do that when you live in a country that allows you all these freedoms, allows you to express yourself whichever way that you want. That's so easy to complain from this platform. When that girl talked about they do have a certain amount of privilege, yes. When you have the privilege to be in the United States of America, to have been born here in the United States of America, to be a legal citizen here in the United States of America, to be able to attend these prestigious universities and colleges and get an education so you can better yourself, get out there and find that job that you can compete with everybody on an equal basis. When you have that kind of privilege, to keep saying that you don't is really a false narrative. It really is. But it's what the woke people do, because they're always doing these false narratives so they can build up, the rhetoric behind it and continue to propagate that. Basically it's just a false, fake narrative, folks. That's what that is. But it brings in a lot of money, causes a lot of division, gets you a lot of status, because then you can it's like those race baiters, those race hustlers, like, Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson continues to stoke the flames. There's something to argue about. There's something to get, somebody upset about and PO'd about and everything. And it brings in money. It brings in donations. That's what it really does. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this video clip. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. Hit like, share, and follow us. Hit that notification bell. I'll leave with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right, and when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.